Hi, my name is Brian Elrod, and my big idea is to stop chasing hacks. Little things will add up to big wins.
Man, okay, so for one, I'm really excited to have you on here, Brian, with a long history of essentially serial entrepreneurship with educational outfitters, and now Text Request. So you guys are hitting. I mean, your Inc. 5000, year after year, unprecedented growth. What are some of the things that you're talking about those little things? I think all too often people look at the headlines, right? And what are what are the things that people don't see behind the scenes of those wildly successful companies?
Yeah, Chris, the way that I look at this is that a startup is definitely not sexy, as a lot of people may think. Um, we really believe in doing little things over and over again and doing them really well. I'm personally a huge football fan, a Tennessee fan, matter of fact. And I've always liked it to blocking and tackling, just doing the basic things really well over long periods of time. Some of those things in the beginning for us was just, you know, writing content, making calls to customers, having conversations, and really taking value from those conversations into the product that we developed. Um, but I would say that just doing the little things, the boring things over and over has really led us to have success.
How do you know when that boring thing is a crucial piece to your puzzle?
Well, when you start seeing results from it, early on, we actually had, we are a bootstrap company. We've never taken a penny of investment from an outside investor. So, we had to get creative and getting customers. And one of the things that we did early on is just write personal emails to potential customers. And we would spend hours upon hours finding email addresses and not mass emailing individuals, but personalizing those emails to their business. So you can see that, that's monotonous at best, doing the same thing over and over.
And when you were doing that, I like that because although you are building a scalable technology company, the foundational elements of that company were built on things that do not scale at all. Meaning that personal attention, that first, second, third, and 100th customer you know, that got that kind of personal value out of working with you or adopting or adapting to your product. What, as a bootstrapped company, I've got sort of a two-part question there. Again, focusing on the little things.
It's actually funny that you say that as far as it's not scalable because, we would hear that over and over again because in the beginning we actually tried to get investment. And we would hear that, well, that's not scalable. But really, what it was doing, it was building steps. And each step led to something else. Do we still, you know, email customers and write those personal emails? No, we haven't done that in years. But it certainly led to the next step of demand generation. So, uh, yes, it wasn't scalable, but it definitely worked at that point in time in the business.
I like that thought about that point in time because what you allowed it to do is your process grows with the growth of the business. So what may have worked 9 years ago, 9 months ago, or 9 days ago doesn't necessarily work today, right? And being
That's
able
right.
to pay attention to that, I think is a strength in and of itself. So when you're talking about doing the right things, you're speaking of it from a leadership perspective, right? Um, so how do you work with your staff and your leaders and your boots on the ground, folks that are out there with your customers every day to make sure that one, they're doing those little things the right way, and two, they are empowered to do those things the right way?
Well, we certainly have always believed in it's okay to make mistakes at text requests, and you can certainly fail and just learn from those failures. Um, but we are in office, we are together, we're pushing 50 people now. And me personally, as the CEO, I still do demos. I still talk with the customers. But our team is answering calls. We're quick to respond to leads. Um, we're just very consistent, right? And we feel like, you know, uh, that's how you build a company, is just being consistent at doing the little things over and over, being involved, having an open door policy. uh, Me personally, my office is at the front of the office. It's not in the back or on a different floor. Everyone has to walk by this office every day, and so we're involved, we're here, we're present.
Do you feel like that involvement, that consistency, that showing up, right? Is it like interest? Does it compound? Does it multiply itself for the strength of your team members and the strength of their interactions with the customers?
Oh, certainly. The wins start piling up. For years, I liked it to a snowball. We were always trying to get the snowball moving and get it to the hill. And once it started going down the hill, you know, things that you never expect, you put yourself in a position to be lucky, and they start piling up. They certainly do. Um, I know for a fact, it took us 3.5 years to get to 1 million in ARR, which we hear that 96% of SaaS companies, which is what we are, they don't reach that milestone. So only 4% get there. It took us 3.5 years. And then we were in a meeting a few months back, and we realized that it took us 3.5 months to go from 10 million to 11 million to get that same million. From 3.5 years to 3.5 months, uh, because the wins have been compounding over that amount of time.
So we've talked about, developing those, sort of business habits, personal habits that, you know, that pile up personally, and then we'll sort of tie things up. Is personally, what are some of the habits that you have adopted as a leader of, from from one, to 50 people, and from $1 to 1 million to 10 to 11? What are some of the habits that have stuck with you?
Yeah, so definitely being present, listening, empowering our folks. We tried to, we have been a company that has traditionally hired on potential versus experience, that we believe in individuals, that we believe in the potential that they have, and then we really unleash them and let them go do it. Um, and we always tell them not to worry about making mistakes, but to go win big. And so, certainly, everyone that walks around here has that freedom to feel that they don't have to worry about making mistakes, that they have the power to go out and win big. And so, that resonates throughout the company. And we've seen, just major things happen over and over because of that freedom that they have. But again, we've hired folks with little experience to do important jobs, and they come up to speed pretty quickly.
Well, it's kind of amazing when you put people with potential in the right position to reach that potential, right? And so to kind of sum things up, what would to a founder out there that say is in that growth phase, they're feeling revenue pressure. Maybe they had to get investment, right? Like because not everybody finds that possible. Maybe there's something that needed to happen, but maybe they have revenue goals. They have a board that is expecting certain things to happen. To those founders out there, talk to them about, I guess, that urge, fighting that urge to find those hacks versus establishing long-term consistent principles.
Right. Well, I would definitely urge you doing things well over a long period of time is how you build a Hall of Fame career. And it takes time, and it's not fast. Um, and I really can't speak to the silver bullet because we've been looking for a silver bullet for 10 years and we've never found one. But what I can speak to is the fact that we've done little things. Uh, we've done those well over long periods of time, and it's put us in a position to succeed. So I would find something that works, and you double down on it, and you go to the next thing that works, and you do the exact same thing. I know that that has worked for us, and really, Chris, that's really the only thing that I can speak to.
Well, it's worked for you, and it seems to have worked very well. So, congratulations on the continued success. Congratulations on several years of Inc. 5000 representation.